Hi, Stormy, baby. Oh, the neighbors are just chatting in the hall. I wonder if anybody else in my building are gamers. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, please consider liking and subscribing. I really want to quit my job and be an artist forever. So that's on you, baby. 2022 was a year and a lot of games were made. And we're going to talk about them today. The good, the bad. If you're playing on Nintendo Switch, the ugly. I love my Switch so much. I just wish things looked good. But that is not the universe we live in. So today we're going to be talking about everything that I played in 2022. These are not necessarily games that came out in 2022. I'm just talking about what I played. Most of them are new releases, but that is not a rule for the list. So in chronological order, in 2022, I played the Danganronpa Trilogy, Pokemon Legends Arceus, Strangers of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origins, Neo The World Ends With You, Octopath Traveller, Boyfriend Dungeon, Triangle Strategy, Assassin's Creed Origins, Fire Emblem Warriors, Three Hopes, Digimon Survive, AI, The Somnium Files, NirvanA Initiative, Journey, Stray, Bayonetta 1, Sonic Frontiers, Pokemon Violet, Gotham Knights, and God of War Ragnarok. And for the most part, I had a great time. So today, this is more like an open discussion. I'm going to be doing my 140 characters or less kind of takes on these games. If there's anything that I begin discussing that kind of sparks your interest and you want a full video about it, leave it in the comments below. I'm very happy with my relationship with my subscribers right now. So if you guys want a video, I'm trying really hard to make weekly content. Usually that's Mondays. If I'm a day late, count your blessings, you got one at all. But yeah, if there's anything that you want to hear me discuss more, leave it in the comment below. Subscribers do get priority boarding, so keep that in mind. Amazing. Okay, so in January, I played the Danganronpa Trilogy, and I really, really liked it. I've played the first one in the past, and I played a chunk of the second one, but I never finished them. And I'm like spoiled on them, so I knew what was going to happen. And even though I played them like 6 years ago, I still remembered most of the plot points. So I wasn't going in experiencing a lot of surprises. I was just like really along for the ride. And it was great. Among them, I think Danganronpa 2 is the best, followed by the first one. And then DR3, for me at least, is the least spectacular of the three because they are all quite good. I enjoyed those games. If I had to rank the trilogy as a whole, I would rate it 8 out of 10 dead high schoolers. In February, I played Pokemon Legends Arceus, Legends Arceus, if you will. I got my wisdom teeth taken out, so I was on a T3 high the whole time I was playing this game, and I fucking loved it. It was one of the best experiences with a game I've ever had. PLA is the best Pokemon experience that exists on the market. You can disagree with me below, but you will be wrong. And it's okay to be wrong sometimes. Pokemon Legends Arceus is so good. It is the only game that I will ever complete the Pokedex for, and I did that, and it took a while. It was a blessing for me to be able to do the work for my lord. For my lord, Pokemon God. Just catching Pokemon has never felt or looked better than it has in Pokemon Legends Arceus. Pokemon battling has never looked or felt better than it did in Pokemon Legends Arceus. You can disagree with me all you fucking like, but you know what? This is a hill that I'm willing to die on. It's the best Pokemon game that's ever fucking happened, and if they don't make another one, what's the point of the sun rising in the morning? Sorry, I switch back and forth between Arceus and Arceus, because Arceus is what I want it to be. But Arceus is the official translation because British people ruin everything, so that is a joke. England, don't come for me. You'll win, and I'd like to live. For me, Legends Arceus gets 10 out of 10 mainline ancestors. Strangers of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origins. I don't remember much about this game. I feel like that one kind of came and went. It was a little bit under the radar. It was good. I remember liking it. I remember thinking it was fun. I just don't remember anything about it except that it was gay. But like, it didn't have the courage to be gay enough. Like the strongest queer narrative I think that existed in gaming in 2022 came from this Final Fantasy title. Because Jack and Astos are lovers? I don't remember the exact plot. Did I say Zach? Either they were lovers or it was like an unrequited love situation where Astos loved Jack, which like makes sense because Jack is designed to be brooding and sexy. But you know, you play this whole game and you don't really have much of an understanding of what's happening, and then you realize it's like a time loop situation, and Astos has, heralded, shepherded these beings throughout several versions of this world, and he loves Jack. Was it Barry or Gaze? I'm going to give Final Fantasy Origins 7 out of 10 underdeveloped side characters. Ooh. Unpopular opinion incoming. I don't like The World Ends With You. I just don't know. I don't know what the appeal is. Maybe if I had played that game when I was 11 on a real DS, I would really like it. It just wasn't for me. Neo, The World Ends With You, kind of same deal. I really wish I could bring myself to care. I would watch an anime of this premise, but I'm just not interested in playing it. I just need it to move faster than what we're at. It's too slow, and I think with certain narratives, if they lead with too broad of a mystery and there's not a really compelling narrative hook, I just can't bring myself to stick around. And I feel like that's something that Chwewi suffers from. I'm going to give the game 6 out of 10 psychokinetic pins. I like Octopath Traveller, but I think my issue is that I like Bravely Default so much more. There's something about the format that is not right. I think if the storytelling was a little bit different, then maybe I would be okay, but something about having to go to each different place, and then even though you pick someone's story at the beginning, you still have to play through all the stories, and everyone kind of has their own isolated plot line where the other people just happen to be helping, but the plot lines don't interact at all. Why have a cast of 8 and have your whole gimmick hinge on the fact that you could do whatever you want with this cast of 8, and they're all these disparate people from opposite corners of the world, and then they come together to fight against a common cause, but they're not, you do nothing to weave their stories together. There's no beautiful thread being spun. It's just people doing things on their own, and they happen to have a little entourage behind them. That's what Octopath Traveller is about, and I can't get behind that. I simply cannot. I think the gameplay is literally so delicious, but I need a narrative hook to bring me in, and that's what Octopath Traveller is lacking. Sure, the individual stories are fine, but if you're going to give me a cast of 8 and it's about 8 people coming together, I'm expecting Sense 8 levels of story, okay? I want them all fucking. I want them all interacting in different ways. I want a will they, won't they dynamic happening. I need a lot. Octopath Traveller is not doing that. And the second one, I know they didn't fix that. Octopath Traveller is going to get 6 out of 10 storylines that don't matter. Boyfriend Dungeon. I have a video where I talk about Boyfriend Dungeon right here. That one is rife with spoilers. So if you don't want to be spoiled about an indie game and you don't want to watch that video, how about you pay some poor people some money and play their game? It's not that expensive. You guys can go do that. Boyfriend Dungeon is good. It's a very serviceable, small game. Support indie creators, support gay people. I'm not going to spend too much time on it because I do already have a video talking about this game. I am going to give it 7 out of 10 gay people. When did Triangle Strategy come out? I know it's a 2022 tactical role-playing game co-developed by Square Enix and Art Dink for Nintendo Switch, but I just want you to tell me what day it came out. Oh, it came out in March. When did I play this game? Okay, I probably played Triangle Strategy in April. It's very good. If you're looking for a strategy game that actually offers a challenge, granted, this is from my skewed perspective, and I am not shy about not being good at games. Triangle Strategy, I thought, was hard. It really forced me to think, and I hate doing that. Just kidding. No, it was challenging, and I was so starved for something Fire Emblem adjacent, and I didn't want to play Three Houses again because I've played it so many times. I was just looking for a new experience. I do hate that Triangle Strategy is in an isometric view. I prefer straight up and down. None of this diagonal stuff. I can't stand it. But there's just so much political intrigue happening in Triangle Strategy. And yeah, a lot of it is surface. I feel like no game has really successfully captured being the Game of Thrones of video games. I think Triangle Strategy wanted to achieve that, and I don't think they were able to do it successfully. I give Triangle Strategy 7 out of 10 hot people riding on eagles. I was excited to play Assassin's Creed Origins. I played Odyssey and I loved it. I'm really close to platinuming that game. I should probably go back and do that. Even though so much is Grecian and we literally see it everywhere, I simply have not had enough of consuming stories that come in that packaging. So maybe just like the aesthetics of Odyssey works for me, and that's why I loved it so much. Anyways, that's not the game we're trying to talk about. Assassin's Creed Origins was also very, very good. You can tell that it's older than Odyssey. Like, that is something that I felt going into it, because that's the context that I have. This game is good. It's fun. If you like that open world kind of check things off of a map type of gameplay, you will like Origins. I'm going to give it 8 out of 10 snake people who murdered your son. Ooh, next is the game that set me on a new trajectory on this platform. I am infamous for talking about this game. My most viewed videos are all to do with this game. Baby, we're talking about Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hoops. Something about the R sound in Fire, I can't say it. Fire Emblem. I have to do my best anime voice acting impression in order to say it properly, because otherwise I say Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem. And that's not what it's called. I loved this game. I don't know what you want me to say. I don't know what you want me to tell you. It's very good. And I'm not a huge fan of Warriors titles. But again, sometimes the right coat of paint on a genre really goes a long way. Because Three Hopes is very, very good. It's so fun. The combat is, yes, it's repetitive, but it's nuanced enough, and you're able to hop around between characters. I think what happened with Three Hopes was they had all these like really cool ideas for Three Houses, and they received all this criticism for Three Houses as well. And they were like, we have all this stuff on the cutting room floor that we want to use. But we're not going to make DLC. We're not going to make an amendum to Three Houses. We're not going to make a Three Houses 2. How do we do that? Okay, we have to build like an alternate universe game where all of the same stuff happens, and it happens a little bit differently. And some of the plot points are like the same, but a little bit better. Some of the plot points are the same, but a little bit worse. We are going to defang all of our side characters. We're going to really thin them out. You're welcome to disagree. I'd love the engagement. I was just happy for the airtime. But Three Hopes is good. Three Hopes gets 9 out of 10 Damien Hawes. Digimon Survive. I also have a video about it. It's like almost 2 hours long. It's in the card up here. Click on it. That video is really, really good, and I worked really hard on it. Please watch it. I think it's an interesting and thoughtful exploration of everything this game did right and wrong. Digimon Survive is a really good try. There's room. There's so much room to grow with that title. And if they had a second shot, I think they would do it so much better. It is what it is. I'm going to give it 7 out of 10 Agumon again. LMAO. Leave it to me to forget talking about literally my number one PlayStation game of the year. Slay. Soul Hackers 2 is good. If you want like the Diet Coke version of Persona, this is exactly the game for you. If you are interested in Persona and you just want an experience that's shorter, you've got it. Soul Hackers 2 is here for you. I'm going to rate it 7 out of 10 on the nose biblical references. When I tell you that AI, the Somnium Files NirvanA initiative, is a modern masterpiece, I'm not fucking around. It's so good. It is so good. The plot is phenomenal. You know, you walk in and you're like, oh, how are they going to top the first one? And then they're like, honestly, you are an idiot for thinking that we can't do better. Also, the creator, very active vocal trans ally on Twitter. Oh, we just love to see it. I'm screaming. Positive representations of gay people in games. Absolutely crazy. I will say, I think the puzzle aspect of the first game is a little bit better. Second game, I think there's a greater focus on narrative and just telling the story. So sometimes the solutions are a little bit obvious because they want to keep it going. Please play it. The characters are phenomenal. The writing is good. The voice acting is, I feel like I'm having a hot shower. Like I'm so satisfied thinking about it. I think it's going to get 9 out of 10 scantily clad AI women. I played Journey for the first time in my adulthood where I have less time to budget with. So I can't just be like fucking around and playing whatever I want and investing 20,000 hours into a video game. I am such an avid supporter of like 3 to 4 hour games that are cinematic, that are stunningly beautiful, that you can just like play and cross off a list on a day off. and they make you feel something. I love it. Journey gets 8 out of 10 hooded figures with beautiful scarves. There need to be more short games that are popular. Journey is really popular. Grease is another really, really good one. But I haven't played too many. So if you guys know any more short games that you can play on a day off, drop them in the comments below. I would love to play them. Did Stray live up to the hype? I don't have too much to say about it. I just think, like, go play it. Again, another point for supporting smaller studios. I know the makers of Stray do have, like, more visibility than a lot of other developers, but I'm finding that it's the indie developers who year after year are making phenomenal creative games that flip convention on their heads, that really took the time to think about what they wanted to do, whether that's establishing narrative, whether that's how their narrative maybe only works in a game format, whether that's subverting an expectation with a mechanic, whether that's focusing in on a mechanic and seeing everything that you can do with it. It's phenomenal. Stray, all you can do is run and jump, and you have a little robot friend who can help you out a little bit later, but it's just interesting to play like an action RPG where you can't fight. And it's an apocalyptic narrative that isn't wholly nihilistic. Maybe we should. Maybe the robot takeover really does need to happen. Stray's gonna get 8.5 out of 10 meows. Bayonetta 1. I do have a video where I discuss playing the first Bayonetta, but that video is more of a discussion on the tone of Bayonetta and voice acting. You know who's not a trans ally? We don't need to talk about her. We don't. Stop. Don't gossip. You guys. Bayonetta 1 is fabulous. It's everything that Bayonetta 3 is not. The plot is good. The fashion is good. The style, the tone, the creative direction are all so fabulous. I sing many praises for Bayonetta. I think it gets 9 out of 10 dance breaks. Sonic Frontiers is a good game, and I think the internet is just full of hatred. I did not play it on Switch. I will contextualize that. I did play it on PS5. On Switch, if a game is not being made by Nintendo in-house, it's probably going to run about as well as like a rickshaw in terms of mechanical prowess. It's just not happening for the Switch. I love her so much. I love Nintendo so much, but I need more in 2023. Tears of the Kingdom. Switch Pro. It better happen. Sonic Frontiers is so good because they copied two games that are amazing and they blended the formats quite well. Sonic Frontiers is just Mario Odyssey and Breath of the Wild. If you like either of those games, you're gonna like Sonic Frontiers. Yes, they shoehorn in a stupid, silly, generic story into it, but the world looks nice. The movement feels so good. I feel like if you are making a game and your movement doesn't feel good, then you've lost so much of the battle, because movement is typically 70% of the action that's happening is just you fucking walking around. You just are zooming through this world, and it's very nice. They reuse a lot of assets, which I think cheapens the product. I think the areas could have been smaller too, or like instead of being like 5 disparate islands, maybe you just have like one really, really big zone that merges all those biomes together. Also, they should have been 5 distinct biomes. IMHO. But Sonic Frontiers is amazing. I'm going to give it 8 out of 10. Where the hell was Shadows? You frickin' fricks have ruined my life. Okay, we're approaching the end, you guys. only have 3 games left to talk about, and one of them I already made a video on, and it's Gotham Knights. Gotham Knight? I spelt it in my notes. Gotham Knights. Knights. And I don't know if that's right, because it could also be Nights. Like, is it Knights with a K or Knights with an N? It doesn't make the game good, that distinction, because it's also a pun, because the whole game takes place at night, so it's like your knights at night. Do you guys get their stupid fucking joke? I did, and I still didn't like it. This game gets 4 out of 10 shitty protagonists. Pokemon Violet is as good as it is bad. Walk with me. Imagine just a happy office full of workers who are happy to go and they love doing their job because they are given reasonable time frames and they're able to manage all of their tasks. And there is a team working with heart and passion and soul towards making something truly, truly beautiful. And it's a gorgeous open world experience that at its very basis, it just runs. And the game doesn't crash. And you can go through this whole world, and the draw distance is nice, and it doesn't have odd slowdown issues. And when you're far enough away from things, they're not walking one weird step at a time like they are in a very bad stop motion. And there's a beautiful plot, and there's beautiful lighting designs, and there's beautiful textures, and everything is just beautiful. That's what we could have had. That's what we could have had if it wasn't for... There's a lot of discussion. There's a lot of hubbub as to why Pokemon Violet and Scarlet, by proxy, why those two games are fucking dumpster fires. I think it's crunch. I think it's developer crunch. I don't think it's a lack of talent. I don't think it's a lack of money. I think it's just like marketing. How can we make a product that, you know, hits that supply demand equilibrium where we make the most money? Sorry, my econ major is showing. How do we output a product that is as cheap as possible that'll make us as much money as possible? Enter Pokemon Violet. If this game ran, simply if it ran, it can barely walk, this would probably be my favorite game of the year. Actually, no, because Pokemon Legends Arceus exists. By virtue of this game having really great bones, I'm going to give it 6 out of 10 scaly fan art baits. Oh my gosh, you guys. We're moving on to our last game. Are you sad? I'm sad. I'm going to miss this so much. I love talking. And unfortunately, I never shut up. With that being said, God of War Ragnarok is really, really amazing. Is it as good as the first God of War? Controversial yet brave. I don't think it is. I think the first God of War is immaculate. It's one of my favorite games of all time. Did I love God of War Ragnarok? Yes. Did I get the Platinum Trophy? Hold for applause. Ragnarok is phenomenal. It's an amazing game. I cannot discredit them. I'm not going to sit here and act like I am better than. The fact that I am basically a diehard God of War stan until the day that I die, it came as a really big shock. I think the beauty of the 2018 God of War has largely to do with the fact that it is a quiet domestic drama that is situated in the most larger than life circumstances. By the time Ragnarok happens, a lot of that family drama stuff has been sorted out. So a lot of what I liked about the first game isn't necessarily here because they grew and evolved, because they're well-written characters. They took the feedback, they listened. I think Ragnarok is successful in a lot of ways. The combat is really fun, and the story is still amazing. But I do think they were trying to do too much. We're seeing everybody. We're going to all of the 9 realms. Each realm has characters. There's so much to do. There's so much to follow. They just weren't able to develop every facet of the story as well as they maybe could have. We needed, which is so funny because this game feels long, but we needed more giant stuff. We need more Thor family stuff. We need more of Thor being a good father. I need to make a video about this. I'm going to give it 9.5 out of 10 HBO dramas. And that is all 21 games that I played in 2022. I had a great time playing most of these games in 2022. And even if I had a bad time, I'm a fixer. I love to appraise something and be like, this is what they could have done to make this absolutely fucking perfect. So even when I play a game that I don't like, I still am able to have a lot of fun, honestly, because I get to sit there and be a little asshole and be like, this is what you should have done, actually, if you wanted this to be like really, really good. If you liked this video, if you enjoyed my take on many of the games that were released last year, feel free to like and subscribe. Comment down below, what did you think about these games? Is there anything that you played that was released in 2022 that I didn't, that I should go back and take a look at? Are there any indie games that you guys really like that you think should be highlighted that are like quick, easy plays? Do you disagree with me? Do you agree with me? You know, do you think a game that I absolutely fucking dog walked is the best thing that's ever happened to modern technology? Do you think a game that I loved, literally, you wouldn't eat it for your last meal? Like, I don't know. Let's start a conversation. I make new videos every Monday, asterisk, if I feel like it. So stay tuned for more content. If you've made it to the end, you should leave a little wave emoji or something to signify that you saw this. Subscribe.